is back in town as the interim head coach and looking for a little more magic on the floor. But on the flip side, the Saskatoon Mamba have been picking up the pace with wins in 2 of their last 3 games, although they are still on the hunt for that elusive first road victory. I'm Cami Kepke on the sidelines, joined by the voices of the Surge, Mitch Peacock and Jane Cummings. Guys, it feels early to be talking playoffs, but if the Surge want to be in that conversation, the wins got to start now.
Well, there's no doubt about it. I mean, 7 games into a 24-game season, you know that's a significant sample, and the sample hasn't been good enough from a Calgary Surge standpoint. They make the coaching change. That's a statement from management, and they know that they've got a real opportunity tonight playing the team that's in that last playoff spot and has 2 wins ahead of them so far in the young season.
Yeah. 3 seasons of Calgary Surge basketball, 3 championship weekend appearances, 2 finals appearances as well. 0-7, Mitch, unprecedented territory, frankly, when you're talking about the Calgary Surge. But as a Surge fan, you can rely on this front office to make some proactive moves. And as you just mentioned, bringing a guy like Dave DeViro up the chart. We already know he was on the bench, but now he's in the big seat. As the head coach, Mitch, I feel like it's a great move, and tonight is going to be a great showcase for what he can do with this squad here this season.
Vibes have been good in practice the last couple of days, but vibes in practice are one thing, vibes in game are another. We will see what happens when they start playing for real. Let's take a look at the matchup stats of this one as we get ready for the first of 4 meetings on the season between Calgary and Saskatoon. And as far as Calgary is concerned, one number that's been good is they've been keeping the turnovers down. For Saskatoon, 3-point makes have been good for the Saskatoon Mamba this year, playing well and shooting well, at least beyond the arc. But both teams are thinking about defense right now. They want to tighten it up.
Yeah, and what seems like, Mitch, we have unprecedented scoring in the CEBL this season. It seems like the century mark is nothing. It's going to be up to teams to play some good defense to really make sure that they set the tone going forward with postseason, about 2 or so months away. And it starts here tonight. And as you talked about, Mitch, you made a great point when it comes to the 3-point shooting of the Mamba. But when you got a guy like Tavian Dunn-Martin making sure to head man your defense, you know that 3-point percentage is going to be up at around that 35%.
Tavian Dunn-Martin, impressive. Saskatoon averaging 11.1 made threes per game. That's 4th best in the league. Calgary 7.3 made threes per game. It's an area that has been a sore spot for them and something that's allowed the other team to plot strategies to make it even tougher. So we'll see how that goes tonight as far as the Surge trying to create offense. I know you'll talk about that a little bit more on the CDIC keys to the game coming up a little bit later on. We're awaiting word from Cami as far as catching up with interim head coach Dave DeViro is concerned, and as we fill the time in anticipation of catching up with the man in the job, an interesting assignment for Dave DeViro. Has had a lot of experience over the course of his career.
Yeah, most certainly. Well known for his TMU fame, coaching the Bold, and a guy like Aaron Runes to be the player of the year. We already know what he was able to do in Ottawa as well as the Blackjacks coach. Now up in the big seat for the Calgary Surge. And excuse me, how can I forget? We call him Gold Bold Dave around here. Gold medal Dave. Congratulations to him and his U18 AmeriCup squad making sure to secure that gold. Mitch, that is a whole lot of shiny new hardware around the neck of Dave. You know he wants to show it off here tonight.
Yeah, it's quite a turnaround from him, but he's got the experience to handle it. For more, let's catch up with the man himself, our interim head coach here in Calgary, Dave DeViro, standing by with Cami Kepke.
Well, Dave, it's been a whirlwind week for you, for the players, the staff. Just what's your message to the group going into this one?
Our biggest message is to stay together. We've had a rough period of time, and we just need to stay together and get through this, this little road bump on the road here. So we'll be all right.
We all know you guys want the win, but from a technical standpoint, what does a successful game for this group look like tonight?
I think we got to be better on the defensive end. I mean, we have to do a better job rebounding. And we got to make some shots. I know we're not shooting the ball as well as we could, but we do a couple of those things, we'll be fine.
People are talking playoffs already. How do you get this group to focus in on what's immediately ahead of them instead of the totality of what they need to pull off here?
And we're a long way away from playoffs. Our focus right now is in making sure everybody gets healthy, making sure we're together and playing for each other. So we got a long way before we're talking about playoffs, really.
Appreciate this, Dave.
Thank you. Good seeing you.
Jermaine has your keys to the game after this. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, CBC Sports YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Back to WinSport Arena in Calgary, getting you set for the Calgary Surge and the Saskatoon Mamba. First of 4 meetings on the season between these two teams. The Surge at 0-7, the Mamba at 2-5. It is a big one in the aftermath of a coaching change here. Let's get to the keys to the game presented by CDIC. We will start with the visitors from Saskatoon.
Yeah, we will. Saskatoon got to be fortified inside. Jalen Williams is 3rd in the league in block shots this season. And with both Easton Tim and Jaden Bediako on the floor as well, you've got arguably the most protected rim in the entire conference. Rely on your inside D. Second up, busy hands, break plans. Calgary's definitely going to try to get some guys some easy touches and up-close looks with a lot of ball movement. Lock up those passing lanes and see if you can get running the other way with opportunities to push. And finally, it's time to run it up. The Surge are dealing with some rotating faces in the lineup and a fresh head coaching change as well. Use that roster instability to your advantage. Move without the basketball. Create some confusion. And if you can force some unfamiliar teammates on Calgary to have to rely on communication, there should be some lapses on defense that you can take advantage of.
CDIC also bringing you the Calgary keys to the game.
That they are shooting shots, your shooters shoot. A league low 23.5% from 3 has got teams inviting the Surge to pull from deep. Gotta quit bailing teams out with those threes. Get inside, drive the basketball, and force some commitment on the interiors. First and last, despite not being able to get the job done just yet, you can't help but notice that Calgary attempts to flip a switch when it comes to target score time. Don't wait until then. Lock in. The first 5 minutes are equally as important as the last 5. And finally, it's Bold Gold Dave night here. Fresh off the U18 America, 4 gold, Canada. Dave DeVille is back in the Surge bench, and this time he's the head coach. But this time, you've got to make sure that you've got guys locked in now if they're Dave DeVille. You're a new voice when it comes to a head coach of this same franchise. See if you can get guys on the same page and get out the gate quick.
Over to the starting 5s for the two teams now, and there are changes for the Saskatoon Mamba. Jaden Bediako, Jalen Williams, and Tevian Jones into the first 5 for Isaiah Fox. Jameer Chaplin, Trey Townsend, Easton Tim come out. Devontae Bandu and Davian Dunmartin remain in the backcourt for Calgary. It is the same 5 that started the last game, so a second consecutive start for Damian Baugh and for Javonte Brown. Our key players tonight, Tavian Dunmartin for the visitors and Olu Adeladun for the Calgary Surge.
Tavian Dunmartin, when you're talking about Sask, come on, it's 19 points a game. It's 29 minutes a game, but most important to me, I find 3.9 rebounds a game from a guy that's 6 feet tall in his shoes, maybe counting his hair.
6 feet tall?
Yeah, well, I said counting his hair, didn't I? Come on now. Tavian Dunmartin is that guy, especially at almost 4 rebounds a game. Look for him to be a difference on the interior.
Olu Adeladun, 13-8-1 against the Scarborough Shooting Stars a little bit earlier on in the week here for him, and hoping for big things. But this is a guy who's been known to shoot the 3, Adeladun, and he's 1 of 12 in the last 3 games.
Yeah, tough shooting numbers here for Adeladun, but continue to shoot. And there are different ways that Olu affects the game. Look for him to be a defensive demon. Look for him to also pass the ball very well, and he's also an Iron Man. Tough guy, and he knows how to affect the game with more than just shooting 3 balls.
Yeah, he's determined to make a difference one way or another. The Surge looking for that first win of the season, taking on their cousins, the other team in the league owned by this ownership group of Usman Tahir Jutt and Jason Ribeiro. And the Surge in white looking for that first win against the Saskatoon Mamba, rebranded this year. The tip-off is brought to you as always by Spalding, the official game ball of the CEBL. Saskatoon at 0-4 on the road so far this year. The Surge playing just their 3rd home game of the campaign. That's something that might work in their favor with a number of home games still to come in the season. And the Surge have it off the tip. It's Damian Baugh in possession. Baugh, a player who played in the NBA with Charlotte back at 24-25. Rugsy Miller, the team's leading scorer, setting a tone early.
Very familiar look. We've seen that in previous seasons here for the Calgary Surge. Get Rugsy initiated with the offense right off the bat. So you like that there from Coach D, pulling things out early.
Rugsy Miller-Moore, 21-6-7 in the game on Saturday. 28 points, now make it 26, away from 1,500 regular season playoff points in his CEBL career. Surge playing 5 of the first 7 on the road, so 10 of the last 17 will be on home court. Into the front court, Devontae Bandu, and we got a whistle stopping the play. It looks like there's an issue over at the timers area, so they're going to step over. Our officials tonight are led by the crew chief, Riley Carrison. Carl Artis Jr. and Joe Lamb are the umpires. Carl Artis Jr. over to have a word and make sure all the housekeeping is in order. And it'll be side out of bounds, put back in by Devontae Bandu. Just 27 seconds in. Picked up by Dunn Martin. He'll drive into the paint, works around Javonte Brown, and Brown says, not on my watch.
That's how you cover ground right there if you're Javonte Brown. Good little screen from Bediako, but Brown doing a good job of tracking Dunn Martin and sending that shot right back where it came from.
Back into play from the baseline. Bandu with a little bit of space here. He let it go quickly. It doesn't go. They'll get a second chance. Rebounding a focus for these teams. And there's a little frustration now with what's happening over in the timekeepers area. Saskatoon in the flow earning that second chance opportunity, and TDM had it in his hands. He wanted to go to work.
Yeah, that's tough. When you're TDM and you're coming off a block shot, you're looking to make an impact right away, and you got an errant buzzer, kind of throws a wrench in the program here, and now you've got to set up with the side out of bounds here with 14 seconds.
Surge last outing, a 96-80 loss against Scarborough on Saturday. They were outscored by 10 in the second half of that one. For the Mamba, they played in Kelowna, neutral site game against the Vancouver Bandits Saturday night. 105-85 was the final there. We had a chance to talk with Isaiah Fox, head coach of the Mamba, before the game. He told us that the team really didn't give themselves a chance with a tough start in that opening quarter, but he liked the way they battled to the end, and they're determined to be better tonight. Dunn Martin, as they get back underway, took it to the rim. He gets some support, and on the follow, they score to level the game as Bediako, back after an absence, makes his presence felt early on.
Yeah, only his third game back here in the CEBL for 2026, but up to his old tricks as Jaden Bediako gets himself his first garbage bucket here of the game.
Miller Moore works to his right to the corner. Deladoon is there. That's off the iron. They work hard to get the rebound, and they'll earn an extended possession. Deladoon to Miller Moore. Miller Moore ranging to his right, works back to his left, deep in the shot clock now. He's got to do something to the inside. Brown late in the clock, and they'll turn it over. Dunn Martin on the move to Williams, floats it, doesn't fall, and the Surge rebound again, and Baugh finds Gilliard. Gilliard working to his right, off the glass, in and out. Calgary 43.4% from the floor on the season, 9th in the 10-team league. Saskatoon's numbers similar.
There it is, once
and
again.
Possession changing hands.
Yeah, I set up with Avian Gilliard Jr. right there, making sure the ref saw that contact and building a possession out of nothing right there.
What's that gamble right there? Delay! You're good, Mickey! You're good, Mickey! Back up!
Miller Moore looking to the inside. Deladoon finds the glass and scores.
Great job by Ruggs Miller Moore, noticing the baseline cutting. Olumide Deladoon finishing that play underneath. Great finish.
Chemistry critical for this Surge team if they're going to pull themselves out of this 0-7 start. They've got to play together, as Dave DeViro said off the top. And a bucket from the corner from Tavian Dunn Martin.
And you see Ball just lost him just for a second, but that's all that Dunn Martin needs to get his shot off, man. On the move, knock down that three.
Surge have not been strong from beyond the arc this season, but Deladoon and Gilliard can heat up from long range. And Gilliard takes the shot, just doesn't work out for him this time around. Western Conference action, as always, presented to you by Cal Tire. Western Conference matchup here, a couple of Eastern Conference matchups earlier. Scarborough downing Niagara, and Montreal surprising Brampton. Brampton just the second loss of the season for the Honey Badgers. Montreal improves to 4-5. Drawing the contact, Ruggsy Miller Moore. He doesn't score, but he will go to the stripe, and Ruggsy looks like a guy who's determined to help this turnaround get going tonight.
Yeah, well, make no bones about it. If the Surge are going to turn things around, it is going to be because of 0-0. And he's definitely giving what he can here, trying to get these dubs out, but starting this game out by being aggressive, getting to the line, racking up fouls against that Saskatoon interior as well. It's a good spot to be in here if you're a Surge fan.
Tie ball game early on. Ruggsy Miller Moore averaging 23.3 on the season. And 87% from the free throw line, much improved in that department. And the second one tumbles for double O.
Yeah, shooting streak has definitely improved, like you said. But how about this, Mitch? 35 minutes a game as well. Like, you already know Ruggsy's a workhorse, but to average that many minutes in a season right now where you're trying to dig your guys out of the mud right now, a lot to be commended here from Little Moore.
He's in extremely good shape coming off of a strong season in France as the whistle blows on the foul. And loves playing in Calgary. Ruggsy Miller-Moore, really the face of the franchise, and in the thick of things here as Calgary looks for win one on the year. Bediako shares the basketball with Jalen Williams, who had 25 against the Bandits. Going to work, Bandu finds something he likes. It's a tough off-balance shot and an empty trip for the Mamba. Once again, the clock a concern, and they'll try and get it sorted. Looks like there are issues with the 24-second clock.
Yeah, some moans and groans here in WinSport now as people start to get restless. Clock continues to be an issue early on in this game, and it's tough as a player. You're getting into a flow, you're trying to get back and forth, and you get stop and start like this, it prevents you from getting into that flow state that you look for as a player.
Back underway, and Ruggsy thought about it to the corner. Gilliard fakes. Good matchup here. Diminutive guards going at it, and Gilliard will score.
I'll tell you something right now. Dunmartin is going to need some help with Gilliard. Anytime EG is posted up against a guy who's about his size, he looks to take advantage.
Dunmartin from long range, and that falls, and he's got something to say to the crowd here.
Yeah, that he sure does. Big time shot there. Good bounce back to giving up a basket on the other end.
Gilliard looks for a little room, finds one off the glass that he hoped Javonte Brown could latch on to. Didn't work out this time. Brown with a couple of double-doubles early on this season for Calgary. And from the corner, it's a three-pointer to give the Mamba the advantage.
Yeah, a couple quick buckets right here. You see Mamba starting to pick up the pace after the turnover. That's what Tavian Dunmartin gives you. Spark plug up top.
Ball working against Dunmartin. Drives, kicks it out. Ruggsy Miller-Moore for the triple. That's back iron. Brown fighting hard, comes up with it. Hotly contested by Bediako. Another good matchup within the matchups tonight. And then Brown here looking for the easy finish, and Bediako bumps him, and the foul is called. That was an awkward handle for Javonte, but he engaged enough that Bediako jumped in, and the foul is called.
Yeah, when you're playing with a guy like Evan Gilliard, always got to be prepared to catch those passes right now, but good action here early on from Javonte Brown. Active around the basket, making sure to really provide some kind of resistance for a guy like Jaden Bediako. It isn't easy to do, but you see Javonte Brown here going to work early on.
Javonte's been working on his free throws, an area of improvement that he has targeted. Tough start to the season from the stripe. Right around that 50% mark, so he'll look to make it one of two this time around, and that falls. And did we get a violation there? No, it looks okay. They're gonna just make some substitutions as Tim checks into the game. Trey Townsend coming in as well. Townsend without a point in the loss against Vancouver on Saturday in Kelowna. Showcase of the CEBL in a beautiful city and a phenomenal venue. And as the league continues to bring the game to different markets, we'll have more in a big matchup coming up between these two a little later on with Cammie. Well, Tavian Dunmartin doesn't need an invitation. You give him some space, he'll take it.
Yeah, he sure does right there. Javonte Brown just took a second too long to see him. We already know, man, it's Dunmartin in the front court. Easy for three. Got to be better locking him up.
Timeout in Calgary. 14-9 is your score, just about halfway through the opening quarter.
No.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa, thanks.
That's my job.
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
redtag.ca.
And we're back to Calgary. Saskatoon Mamba with a 5-point lead. 5:19 to go in the opening quarter. Mitch Peacock, Jermaine Cummings, Cappy Kempke with you as the Surge return home for their third home game of the season, looking for their first win of the schedule. They are 0-7. They made a coaching change on Monday, relieving Perry Huang of his duties. Sidney Dobner electing to move on as well when the coaching change was announced. And so the Surge looking for a fresh start, taking on the team just ahead of them in the standings, the team in the last playoff spot at this stage of the season. 2 wins separating these two sides. Hot start for Tavian Dunn-Martin. He's got 9 points. And Saskatoon 4 of 5 from beyond the arc as we settle in. Yeah. Speaking of beyond the arc, Evan Gilliard, that doesn't go. Looking for the rebound. Dion Edgem goes to work and just couldn't finish from short range.
A break right there, and that's what you want Dion Edgem doing. Up at the front of the class, keeping those hands high, getting those rebounds. Just got to convert, and I know he will eventually.
In for the rebound that time around, Adeladoon. He gives it to Gilliard the second. Hands it off to Miller Moore in motion. He works through a crowd and loses the handle. Back the other way in transition. Bandu, and he can't score. They try to clean it up, and it doesn't work out, and the Surge get their feet moving. This one up top and put away by Addie Patterson.
There you go, man. Addison Patterson loves to run the floor, loves to get his chest to the rim. You see him out there, right, being the beneficiary of a great Evan Gilliard pass. Great finish.
10.1 points a game for Addie Patterson, the rookie pro. Started a number of games early on, coming off the bench now, and his presence felt early. Gilliard scores, and he'll try to add on one more.
Regardless of who's in front of Evan Gilliard, he feels he's always got the advantage. And it's hard to argue when he gets to any spot on the floor, is able to finish through contact, and potentially give himself a 3-point play. What a sequence right there.
Evan 19-2-5 in the setback against the Shooting Stars on the weekend. He had 3 made threes in that one. And a very good foul shooter. Gilliard at 97% on the season. Doesn't get much better than that. He's got a chance to tie the game here.
And that's against a good defender as well. You saw Mohamed Mahadi, the last play down, was able to strip Ruggsy Miller-Moore, and Evan Gilliard took it right to him on the very next sequence. So you love that doggedness right there from EG.
Takes care of business. Gilliard makes it a 3-point trip, ties the game at 14. Mahadi taking his time. We'll move it to Tim and take it back. Mahadi out of U of S. Tim out of U of S. That one out of the parking lot and no good. The Surge head to the attack. Gilliard looking to pull the strings. Good hands there to swat it away from Townsend. And bringing it back the other way, Tevian Jones, who we expect to see a lot of. The drive to the inside. Ball knocked away from Chaplin. Adeladoon to the corner. Muntu thought about the 3. He'll get to the inside. Fake on the 3 attempt by Gilliard. He looks for the short ranger. Doesn't go, and Patterson, who got up there, just couldn't squeeze it. And here's Mahadi. Guarded by Edgem, a former Saskatoon base player. Inside it goes to Tim in the low block. Adeladoon monitoring him. Good hands, it looked like from Adeladoon, but the whistle blows and the foul is called.
Yeah, sounded like it too as you heard the punch of the ball, but the official saw a little bit more, and that's going to send Easton Tim to the line for the first time here tonight.
Substituting the separation number 2, taking ball. In for Saskatoon.
You can follow at CEB League on all social platforms to stay up to date on stats, storylines, and more for all 10 teams in Canada's Pro Basketball League. Yes, wherever you want to find it on social media, you'll find word about the CEBL at CEB League. Got a good one going between these two. It's only June, but they know the significance of the outcome of this one. The Mamba trying to bounce back from a disappointing loss on the weekend in Kelowna. Calgary looking to kickstart their season. You heard Dave DeVero talk about it before the game, the interim head coach. He said they're not thinking about playoffs right now. They're thinking about sticking together and playing good basketball. But you know that the wins matter as much now as they would later on.
That they do, and it's all about process with a guy like Dave DeVero. So if he feels like the guys are in a good spot right now, we do not believe him. We'll see it here if that's the case tonight.
Damian Baugh wades in deep, runs into a body. Ball on the play, they'll put it back in from the baseline, and Baugh will look after it. And that works pretty nicely. Get it back into play and get in the bucket.
There you go, man, the Calgary native. How about Brandon Mutu getting himself to the line and knocking down that three out of the baseline out of bounds. Fire starter.
Triple from Tavian Dunn-Martin, doesn't tumble. Back the other way is Baugh. Adelaide. Patterson for Adelaide. And that's good. Yes, sir.
Way too much space right there for Olu Adelaide. Notices when he gets the ball back and says, let me give you three, just like my guy Brandon Mutu gave you three to play down before.
So the Surge, a nose in front. They've got a 5-point advantage now, in fact. Dunn-Martin uses the quicks, gets down the lane, goes to that left hand, doesn't go. Edgem has a look around. His pass knocked out of the air. Good effort there to get possession back and score the basketball for Chaplin.
Chaplin's hands are way too good right now to be careless with the passes around him. You've got to be locked in getting the ball through. He's always looking to poke things loose and get you an easy two.
Edgem thinking about the
Whoa.
three. Why not?
Oh, my goodness. Talking to Dion Edgem, we talked about him, and he knows his shot now is improved. Now we see it in person. How about knocking down a triple?
Isaiah Fox says that's enough of that. We need to talk. He's requested the timeout and he gets it. Want to remind you, Cal Tire is proud partner and tire expert of the CEBL. You can shop top tire brands and have peace of mind with Cal Tire's price match guarantee. Shop and book at caltire.com. Well, the Surge are not a good three-point shooting team, right?
Don't tell Dion Edgem about the stats this season when it comes to three-point shooting for the Calgary Surge. And as I was saying before, I talked to him earlier this season. He said his jumper has been improved, and if he gets space and time, he's going to make sure that defenses know that he's improved from out there. Big time Jay stepped into it with confidence. Mitch, his game's going to be growing.
We've seen a series of threes here now from the Surge in building this advantage, and you know what? If they can get something going beyond the arc, all of a sudden they're a different team to try and defend because they become pretty predictable with the lack of success from long range.
Exactly. You've seen it here all game long that Saskatoon has done a good job of packing the paint, because you already know that the story with Calgary is they're going to drive, they're going to attack, they're going to come to the front of the class. But again, just a couple shots from range can completely turn a defense on its head. So we'll see here if that's a consistent theme in this first quarter.
Tavian Dunn-Martin leading all scorers. He has 9 so far in the game. The Surge spreading it around a little bit, led by Olumide Adelaide with 5 and Evan Gilliard with 5. Surge 3 of 7 from deep. We talked about that as a big part of this now 6-point advantage in the ball game. Tavian Dunn-Martin with 3 triples. Saskatoon 4 of 7 from deep. Had 5 lead changes already in this ball game. They've been tied on 4 occasions, and time with the lead pretty even as well. I guess we shouldn't be surprised. These two teams are hungry, and they know the significance of a Wednesday night game in June all of a sudden.
Oh yeah, these guys are starving here. Everybody on the floor knows how badly they need a win, and they're playing like it here in the first. The question becomes the resolve. Who can do this for an extended amount of time? Who can keep up the same energy, the same fight? That's who's going to come out of here with a dub tonight.
Moonsu picking up TDM pretty early. The ball to the outside and trying to make the play defensively there was Baugh. You like the effort, you like the intention there, but he caught a piece of Chaplin.
Yeah, third game now here for Damian Baugh. Guy loves to shoot the gap, got long arms, can get to the rim with the best of them. And you can unlock him if he can really get to his game, which is drive, crash, and finish. That'll really open things up offensively.
2 fouls on Baugh already and 2 fouls on Jalen Williams. So a couple of players we got to keep an eye on early on. 90 seconds to go in the first 10 minutes. Baugh to Adelaide. Adelaide finds the paint, uses the left hand, can't score it, but gets in there and grabs a hold again. A fresh 14, swatted away by Bediako. On the move with speed, they get to the glass and they score. Tevian Jones would not be denied, but the surge in transition. And Patterson does what he needs to do to draw the attention. And the foul is called. You like that, picking up the pace, making Saskatoon defend.
The number one way to beat a team that beats you down the floor is beat them right back. Inbound the ball quickly. If a team is running one way, trying to finish in transition, that means at least two of those players are going to be stuck in that backcourt. Get the ball in, get down on the other end, get to the line.
So Patterson goes to the foul line after making the catch in transition and attracting some attention. Patterson up over 80% on the season from the foul line, and he adds another here. And just looks like a player who's determined to be a pro for a long time. He's come out of school with a real purpose.
He sure has. You see it every single time he takes the floor. The guy plays unafraid, loves to crash, and is a defensive dog. These are guys you love to play with when you're talking about Addison Patterson right now, and he's reaping the benefits of that great play.
Bediako getting to the rim. He is a force to be reckoned with. Speaking of forces, and just to finish the thought on Patterson, here's a guy who averaged almost 14 points a game at Eastern Michigan this last winter. He's played internationally for Canada. We talk about the success of Canada at the U18s. He's been a part of some of those teams. He's played with players in the past like A.J. Lawson, and I think he's inspired to try and lift his game to the maximum of its potential. And you know, he just seems like that kind of a guy that every day in the gym and practice, every time he comes out to play in a game, he's going to bring that level, and he wants to bring his teammates right along with him.
Yeah,
could be a key player in a turnaround situation like this.
Yeah, you'd love to. It's a great opportunity here as he makes his debut as a pro. Obviously, his team not starting off the way they would want to, but like you just said, if Patterson can be one of those guys that help turn the ship, and when you see him in practice, you see the way he plays, he definitely wants to be. That'll do infinite numbers for his career going forward.
Talked about the Surge having some depth issues to begin the year. If he can come off the bench and make a difference, that's a big plus. Speaking of a big plus, Rexy Miller-Moore very aware of the situation there, and he earns the whistle.
Yeah, Chaplin taking a big old bite of that pump fake right there. And that's Ruggsy's wheelhouse, man. If he can get you up in the air, you know he's already going to get some contact, get himself to the line. And like you said, he's got career highs at the free throw line here this season. So looking to add to that right here with a couple more.
You got to admire a player who's been around a long time and keeps finding ways to get better. And that's certainly obvious when it comes to the free throws for Ruggsy. I know he's working on his three-point shooting as well.
Yeah, shooting in general right now, when you're talking about Miller-Moore, has been points of contention in his career. But the last couple seasons, specifically last year, he really took huge leaps forward in his form, in his confidence shooting as well. And it's just giving defenses another dimension to think about when you're guarding a guy like Sean Miller-Moore.
Tevian Jones in the mix here tonight. Brought it into the front court, but it's an empty spell at the offensive end for Saskatoon. Here comes Ruggsy once more. Looks to the corner. Good hands again from Chaplin. Gilliard using his hands to corral it. Still got 11 seconds to shoot it. Gets some help up top from Javonte Brown. Gilliard on the move, keeps it himself as things opened up down low, and he scores.
Like you just said, some help from Javonte Brown is key right there. He was the one to take Bediako out of position to really contest that shot. It's a great job converting by Gilliard.
And with less than 5 seconds to go in the opening quarter, the ball will change hands. The Surge will get a last chance to shoot here. Looking to make the most of it. Gilliard takes that pass nicely, drives, gets to the glass, swatted out of the air, and Brown could not pick up the rebound. They're going to run out of time, but they're going to finish the first 10 minutes headed in the right direction. And up 28-23. Surge working hard tonight, looking for that first win of the campaign, and they have themselves a 5-point advantage after the opening quarter. We'll be back with more from Calgary in just a moment. You're watching on CEBL Plus and YouTube.
seen in Mexico on Sunday as Canada upset the United States 67-65 to claim the first U18 FIBA America gold medal in franchise history. It took 14 lead changes and a fourth quarter comeback to pull off the historic win for Canada. And the Canadians held the Americans scoreless for the last minute and 27 seconds. Of course, Surge interim bench boss Dave DeVera was behind the bench for that one. A massive win for the veteran coach, who also owns a silver medal as an assistant coach at the 2018 Commonwealth Games. Absolutely incredible stuff for Dave as he returns to Calgary now as the interim head coach. Mitch?
Tremendous performance from the Canadian team, and exciting for Dave to be a part of that. As Cammie said, he has experienced international success before, but this one has a special feel to it, I am sure. Had a chance to talk to them earlier today, just beaming about the kids. All he wanted to talk about was the players on that team and the job they did to come together under the situation. He said after the opening quarter, when the game was close, he knew they had a chance, and they seized that chance.
Yeah. How about the Alberta talent on that squad? My guy, Daniel Gore, doing his thing, and you love to see it. You talk about the growth of the game. You talk about it being in good hands. You saw it on display on the floor at the AmeriCup in 2026.
Daniel Gore out of Calgary Edge School and now Fort Erie International Academy. And very important contributor to something special from Canada basketball in Mexico. Surge by 5 here. Settling into the second quarter. Ruggsy Miller-Moore right back to work.
Yeah, there it is, man. That is right out of a textbook. Back to the basket. You feel no defender. Attack. Ruggsy Miller-Moore just does that. Gets to the cup. Easy finish.
One of the things we talked about with the Surge in struggling early on is doing the things that take rolling up your sleeves and just being willing to get the work in, and they've been concerned about their rebounding numbers. They had 16 rebounds in the opening quarter to 10 for their opponent, and the offensive glass numbers looking good.
They sure are, Mitch. You love to see it. 7 offensive rebounds strictly in the first quarter. Javonte Brown doing his thing, and guys, like, of course, like Evan Gilliard helping out as well.
Baseline out of bounds to get things started once again. And Evan Gilliard finds Javonte Brown. Brown will hand it off to Gilliard. That left hand puts it up top, and Brown puts it down.
Was looking for it in the first quarter, got it in the second. Javonte Brown, the beneficiary of that Evan Gilliard lob.
New Era, the exclusive game uniform partner of the CEBL, and all 10 of the teams from coast to coast. Pick up your official replica jerseys now by visiting CEBL.ca. Some New Era beauties on display tonight. The Surge in their crisp whites, and the Mamba rocking a purple tone here tonight in a good one. 7-point game as Ruggsy Miller-Moore backs up Tavion Dunn-Martin. Bediako comes to help. Brown with a chance to catch up to it, but the Mamba will take it back the other way. Ruggsy Miller-Moore getting some explanation there from the crew chief, Riley Carrison. And negotiation never stops between the players and the officials. Tavion Dunn-Martin here. Jalen Williams. Williams high off the window, can't score it. Bediako had it swatted away. And it'll stay with the Mamba.
Great job here from Calgary early on, packing the paint against guys that like to drive, like Jalen Williams, like Jaden Bediako. Mainly Javonte Brown here is really showing you what he can do with that size.
Williams catch and shoot off the mark. And Calgary will take over. Williams coming off that 25-point game on Saturday. Coming off of his second year in the G League. Played with Stockton this past season, helping them to the League Championship Series against the Greensboro Swarm. Greensboro is, of course, the team that Evan Gilliard was with, celebrating a championship season. Ruggsy Miller-Moore had that one affected as he released it. Takes it back. Patterson with a look around. Little room to his right. Tough shot. And Dunn-Martin is first to it. From the perimeter. Quick release there. That one drops. Williams quickly getting the wide miss out of his system and scoring to make it a 4-pointer.
It was just a matter of time right there before Williams was able to hit. knocks one down from range, and we'll see if that kind of turns his tide when it comes to shooting in this one.
Muntu got his feet moving to the corner. Miller Moore, did he step on the line? He did. And the Mamba will take control.
Substitute for the Surge, number 23.
Olumide Adeladoon coming into the game. Brandon Muntu coming out. So Calgary with Miller Moore, Gilliard, Javonte Brown, Olumide Adeladoon, and Addy Patterson on the floor. Tavian Dunmartin at the controls for the Mamba. Working against Gilliard on the move. TDM deep in the shot clock now, turns and finds a way to get something out of it.
That's major right there, because Gilliard had great positioning and even better job making sure to keep his front, but did not matter. TDM gives you 2.
No good from mid-range for Gilliard. And Dunmartin hands it off right down Main Street. Williams with a strong finish.
All it takes is one time not getting back on defense, and it completely changes the outlook right there. Jalen Williams giving you a little something on the move.
Jalen Williams, 6'8" at 245. And all kinds of pace to his game, despite that size. Adeladoon finds Miller Moore. Miller Moore looks for 3. That one will land in the hands of Jones, who gives it to the speedy Dunmartin. Hesitates. Patterson staying with him. To the inside, a nice pass from Jones. Up and over from Williams, who's feeling it now.
Look, 2 feet jumpers have got something extra for you after a bounce right there, and Jalen Williams got a righty punch on that one. Look out below.
It's a guy who made a 3 not that long ago, and scoring with an impressive fashion at the other end is Javonte Brown. That's where he can make a living. (34-34). Less than 5 minutes to go until halftime. Dunmartin. Patterson's got the rebound. Patterson between 2 players, elects to put it up off the glass, and why not?
Head down, get to the bucket. Classic Patterson right there. Remove the defender from their position and finish up and close to the rim.
Williams ahead for Jones. Started the season with Vancouver. Makes the move to Saskatoon. Here's Bediako. Takes it right at Brown. Up and over Brown and puts it away.
Great body right there from Javonte, but no matter as Bediako makes sure to gather himself and just give you a classic hook right over the top.
Muggsy Miller-Moore turned the corner, thought he had room. Bediako came over, turned out the lights, but we get a whistle. Surge getting ready to make a couple of moves and get Damian Baugh back into the game. Callum Swanton-Roger checking in too. The Surge releasing Gabe Levin. So bumping up the depth chart. Callum Swanton-Roger, the Calgary product out of Old Dominion. And now we got a timeout on the floor. Just over 4 minutes to go until halftime. We got a tie game in Calgary. Stay with us. It's a good one. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Jam, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
You need a goalie? I'll hop in here. Let's have some fun.
Whether it's on the ice or on our app, always play for the fun of the game. Gamble responsibly with Play Alberta.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa. Thank you. That's my job. So you were saying.
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
redtag.ca.
Back and forth game in Calgary. Thanks for being with us on a Wednesday night. Mitch Peacock, Jermaine Cummings, Cammie Kempke, 36-36. As we move through the first meeting of the season between the Calgary Surge and the Saskatoon Mamba. These teams right beside each other in the standings, closer to the bottom than they would like to be. The Surge at the bottom, 0-7, looking for their first win. And trying to trim the gap between them and the Mamba in that push for a playoff position. Stats are jumping out at us here as we work our way through this one, Jermaine.
Yeah, a through line through those 7 losses this season has been Calgary getting out-rebounded immensely on both ends. Not the case here today. 21 collective rebounds here for the Calgary Surge to Saskatoon 16. And you see the benefits of that now. They've got the lead. Granted, it's only by 2, but nonetheless, it's kept them in this game. Give your offense a second chance by crashing that offensive glass.
Calgary 6-2 in second chance points. They've had twice as many offensive rebounds as their opponents so far in this game, and that has certainly not been the case throughout the season. Calgary entering the matchup tonight. 9.9 offensive rebounds per game. They have 8 already, and we're not at halftime. Chaplin working to his right, driving the baseline. Can't score it. A battle for control, and Baugh jumps in. He loses the handle. It's madness trying to get it, and it's going to go the way of the Surge.
How about Callum Swanton-Roger right there, using all of that 6'11" frame to make sure to bother that shot and creating a turnover as well. Got a big contingent here in the crowd to Swanton-Roger, a Calgary local. People have been waiting for this moment here, and that is a great start right there to his pro career here in Calgary.
7 feet and 240, Callum Swanton-Roger out of Edge School and Old Dominion. And a willing learner. You can see him every day in practice, taking everything in from the coaches. He's going to get a chance now. Window, and just about slam that down, but draws the foul.
Let me tell you, when you haven't necessarily been getting the minutes that you have in a season and you feel like you're able to help a team, you're going to get on the floor and you're going to take every single opportunity to try to show the coaching staff you belong. Callum Swanton-Roger now. On the defensive end, you saw it, and here you see it on the offensive end as he's getting a great look after a great screen here and a chance to get on the scoreboard for the first time in his pro career. You love to see it.
Averaging just under 11 minutes a game so far this season. DNP in the last one on the weekend. But at the free throw line now, gets one to drop. It just seems like the kind of player with that willingness to learn and determination to get better will only benefit from whatever minutes he can find. Drive there from Dunn Martin, who turned the corner, but the help came over, and all of a sudden, it's a Surge basketball again.
Defense on the string now. You're seeing it. Great communication here from the Surge on the defensive end. So screens are no bother for a team that's engaged defensively, and you're seeing it here.
De La Dune. Swanton-Roger will take it up against Easton Tim. A couple of young bigs inside there, looking baseline on the cut. And it was just a little too far for Baugh to catch on to. Right idea. Execution didn't come off. You talk about the CEBL as a place for developing young Canadians. You see Easton Tim going up against Callum Swanton-Roger. And, you know, one of the reasons why, or one of the ways how, the CEBL is just so important for Canadian basketball.
It is. It's important for what you're seeing on the floor, but more importantly, it's important for who's watching right now. All kids, all players who are trying to get themselves to that pro rank are going to have aspirations to get into the CEBL. And when you see your compatriots, guys you grew up with in your community, on the floor professionally, it does wonders for your confidence.
Baugh trying to work wonders here. He gets up and over, doesn't go. Swanton-Roger got up, he got a touch. Just didn't fall favorably for him, but he was there. Dunn Martin, hesitation. Now he gets to the glass, and that was clever. And that's going to bring about the timeout as the Mamba move in front.
Great job right there. You see Dunn Martin saw the defense wasn't prepared that time, took the left all the way to the lane and finished for 2. Great timeout right there by Coach Double D, Dave DeViro.
2:14 to go until the halftime. In our halftime, we got the CEBL top 10 plays of the week. Cammy's going to catch up with Saskatoon head coach Isaiah Fox. We'll look at the stats halfway through the ball game, and we'll check in on our players to watch. In a very watchable contest here. First of 4 get-togethers last season. The season series was an interesting one. They split the 4 games. The Surge dropped the first 2, then won the last 2 in convincing fashion. Trying to get back to those winning ways in this one. Surge 3 straight trips to the Western Conference Final, 2 Western Conference titles. And the Mamba absent from the playoffs since 2022, but they have one thing the Surge don't, and that's a championship in Saskatoon.
That they do. They're hanging banners out there. The one from 2019 for Saskatoon, and we know how badly this Calgary franchise wants one. as well. And we're going to see if tonight is going to be that first step into Calgary getting back through the playoffs and eventually getting the championship one more time.
Isaiah Fox very engaged during the timeout. Clear instructions for his team. They know from their early season experiences that quiet spots in games can cost you games, so they want to make sure they maintain the focus down the stretch to the halftime break, and they are motivated to not only bounce back from the loss to the Bandits, but get that first road win out of the way.
Yeah, and when we sat down with Isaiah Fox before the game, he said one thing that really stood out to me. He said the 0-7 record that the Surge currently have terrifies him. He knows that this squad is not 0-7 right now, and nothing to lose. Look out now.
Look out, Rugsy. Miller-Moore puts it down. That's how you get back into the swing of things.
Reverse City, Rugsy Miller-Moore out of the timeout once again. Wake up the squad.
Miller-Moore into double figures. Surge tie the game just like that. Chaplin trying to work against Rugsy. One way, then the other. Doesn't go. Good defending there on the inside. Patterson with the pace up. Miller-Moore with the step up. And that's easy.
Yeah, you give him any kind of open look from about 8 feet and in. That is easy money for 0-0. Sean Miller-Moore here starting to heat up after that timeout.
Lead changes in the ball game of plenty. We're approaching double figures in lead changes. That one drops down from Townsend, who comes off a scoreless outing to score here late in the opening 20. Baugh, 2 early fouls. They need him to keep it clean. They're a little thin at guard. He goes to the middle there, loses possession. He's shaken up. Baugh having a tough time getting back to his feet. The Mamba trying to make the most of it. Dunn Martin with a difficult shot. Tim will find the rebound, and then he is tied up.
As you saw, the great job from Baugh getting into the paint, but just got knocked off right there. And good job from Calgary getting back and making sure to not be too taken aback by the fact that Baugh was on the floor, preventing that basket. But now you've got 14 seconds after the baseline out of bounds here to try to get one more stop.
Teams retreat to their bench areas to organize for the stretch. And the Mamba in a 1-point lead. They fell 105-85 against Vancouver in Kelowna on Saturday night, but before that, consecutive victories, getting by Scarborough and getting by Winnipeg to kickstart their season. They know what it's like to have things not go your way and get it back on track, and I think this is important for them because they don't want to start feeling that way they felt early on in the year again. They want to get back to those good vibes.
Yeah, and you're seeing it right now, and a guy like Jaden Bediaku was able to join the squad and just kind of help turn the tide of Saskatoon. And like you said, winning 2 out of their last 3, they're slowly starting to do that here, and they're battling throughout this one as they've got a 1-point lead despite Calgary feeling like they've got it. Doing a good job of staying calm is Saskatoon and staying out in front of this one.
Well, you know, it's interesting. You talk about this Surge team, and they want to turn it around. They want to kickstart their season. They want to make things different. They've had some good practices over the last couple of days. They had a good feel about them this morning at the shoot-around, but you always wonder what happens when adversity strikes and when you get challenged. That's when the confidence gets tested. And so far, so good for Calgary.
Yeah, you could definitely say that. Battling back, like you said, teams can really go one of 2 ways, especially after something as big as a coaching change after 6 games. Now, to their benefit, you've got someone who is already on the staff right now being moved into the head coaching spot, and Dave DeViro. So not necessarily a huge change in philosophy when it comes to Calgary, but sometimes just a different voice is all you need.
That element of continuity important for sure. Baugh shaken up again after the inbound, and Saskatoon makes the most of the Surge shorthanded in their defense. Maybe a 2-for-1 at the Surge can strike early here. Ball on the move, gives to Gilliard. Gilliard stepping back, now driving. High off the glass, he'll score it. Seven-second difference or thereabouts. Shot clock, game clock. Dunn Martin can't score. Swanton Roger wins the rebound, and the Surge can hold for the last shot. Trailing it by a point. Evan Gilliard, the second. Monitored closely by Dunn Martin. Ball comes in. Tries to generate some space. Gilliard knows where he wants to get to. He's there now, driving the lane, puts it up top. And there's the finish from Swanton Roger at the horn. And that gives the team and the crowd a huge boost as they hit the halftime in Calgary.
What an effect off the bench you're seeing here from Callan Swanton Roger. Great screens in the high post, doing a great job bodying up in the interior defensively, and ever the threat to dive and finish over the top. Swanton Roger get to it now in the second quarter.
And everybody in the building was thinking Evan Gillier was working for a shot. Everybody thought he was setting himself up, and what did he do? He set his teammate up. You talk about a team trying to build chemistry, to try and build unity. That's the way you start to do it, piece by piece. All right, we're at halftime. It's time for our halftime interview, so let's get to Cami Kepke with a special guest.
Well, Javante, what a wild end to that first half. What was your perspective on that last basket?
It's just execution. We enjoyed the play in the little timeout. We wanted 2 for 1, and we ended up getting 2 buckets, so just execution.
We know that rebounding was something you guys wanted to work on. You found a lot of success in that tonight. How has that helped you take this lead going into the second half?
Since we're able to rebound, we're able to push in transition and get more buckets. You know what I mean? We're able to hold them to 1 possession, and we're able to push and get buckets in transition.
We know how hungry you guys are for this one. What's it going to take to close it out and get that first win?
It's rebound, execution, and togetherness. All those 3.
Perfect. Thanks for this, Javante. Javante Brown walking off the course. Mitch and Jermaine have more for you after this. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, CBC Sports YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Cheney. Beautiful dime and down the lane. It's Tillman with authority.
All on the floor, and Anthony Walker's in the game. Walker back with the team, the former member of the Montreal Alliance. Boom time! Anthony Skywalker gets his miss. Best way to follow up a miss. How about?
I think on this one, Brown, I don't know where Brown thought the ball was, but
using his deltoids, will he get point number 4? On the 1v1, looks for the outlet, and here is Freeman Liberty. 5 left to shot clock. Jab step 3. Spot.
As has been the trend early in the season for the Alliance, Kevin Osaway having a baseline cut, didn't like what he had offensively, found Javon Freeman.
Can he get going in this quarter play? Walker, Sky, denied. And that is saved by Osaway. And with it is Montreal. 16 left in the game clock. Transition, Guerrier! Hammer blow.
Excellent sequence right there for the newly acquired.
Cheney has 3 to shoot across midcourt. Will throw it up with one hand and bank it home. At the end of the third quarter. 87-67. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
So Tay Donald and Abdul Mohammed checking into the game for Edmonton, and Moncrief checking in at the rack. Oh, Matthew Moncrief says, get out the way.
And that's because he's a good passer, don't get me wrong. I mean, he deserves that kind of treatment, but Sean East, to me, he's looked a little too comfortable.
The high-low. Artistic gravity at his finest. Perhaps winning the West will be a tough ask, but Edmonton has sent a warning shot that they have plenty of sting left as they win 98-78 over the Montreal Alliance.
Allen has to put it up, does just that, and the bank is open at TD Arena. Thanks, Joy, and we'll see how they slow him down. 28, 7 rebounds, doing it all.
Getting ready to play this kind of game again, but they want to be ready for that next type of game where it's going punch for punch, and can they lock it down in the last, target score ending time.
Grant Shepard, my word, did you see that, Kelowna?
You can only try to slow him down. 4 to shoot. Here is Allen. Gets to midcourt. Will throw it up, and he hits it. Teddy Allen from just inside midcourt has 28 to lead all scorers. He's on fire. Teddy Allen. Joy will interview the Winnipeg Seabears head coach.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around with free rotations, price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa, thanks.
That's my job.
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun, or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
It's the Calgary Surge by 1 at halftime against the Saskatoon Mamba. Mitch Peacock, Jermaine Cummings, Cammie Kepke with you from Calgary. Great to have you along tonight. And what a ball game we're watching here. They've gone back and forth. These are two teams that are hungry for a win, with the Calgary Surge at 0-7, the Saskatoon Mamba at 2-5. We built it up to be a game that mattered to these two teams. They're playing it like it's a game that matters.
Yeah, going shot for shot right now are these two teams, but that's exactly what we expected when you got somebody, one of these two teams trying to jockey for position when it comes to really making a name. With the postseason about a month and a half, 2 months away, good place to start here tonight.
No doubt about it. Now, in terms of the Calgary Surge, they identified a couple of things that they want to be better at to improve their record, to give themselves a chance to win, because it's one thing to say you want to win, but how do you get there? And they said they got to be better on defense, they got to improve their rebounding, and they got to play together. Let's start with the first one. How about the defense so far?
Oh, chef's kiss tonight when it comes to defense. Team defense specifically. How about the job that you're seeing specifically from a guy like Javonte Brown and Callum Swanton-Roger off the bench on a string? If Tavian Dunn-Martin is going to turn that corner like he loves to do, Evan Gilliard needs to know that someone's going to be behind him. And to this point in the game, Mitch, you're seeing what team defense does right now. It's really tough inside for Saskatoon, just like Coach Dave DeVero wants.
Calgary with more total rebounds so far in the game, and also the advantage in terms of offensive glass. So that's also another box they can check halfway through.
Yeah, most certainly. Clean up the glass, why don't you? 9 offensive rebounds, that's giving you points, second chance opportunities as well, and not to mention how demoralizing it is for a defense who can't even get a defensive rebound. 2, 3 offensive rebounds in a row ending in a basket. That's exactly what you want to see here if you're that coaching staff over on the Calgary side.
When you've got a team that's not winning, guys start to look out for themselves. It's kind of human nature, and all of a sudden things go their separate ways, and you got no chance to get it right. So right now they've been talking a lot about stick together, play together, be together. You need veterans, you need experienced players to set a tone. What have you seen tonight from players stepping up in that regard?
Well, let's talk about buckets, shall we? Guys like Sean Miller-Moore and Evan Gilliard are known for their scoring. Everyone knows what they can do, but when they're sharing the basketball like you're seeing from today, specifically from a guy like Sean Miller-Moore, whose assists have improved immensely over his first 2 seasons here at Calgary, it does wonders for the confidence of those guys. And you're seeing them start to affect the game on both sides. Because if I'm Callum Swanton-Roger and I know I'm going to be on the beneficiary of an Evan Gilliard lob, I'm going to bust my butt a little bit more on the defensive end, and it's going to work out great for everybody.
Take a look at the halftime stats. How about Dave DeVero in the interim role as head coach, coming in and drawing up a play for a 10-minute player on the last play of the half? They get the 2-for-1 and they get the lead. 46-45 as we get ready for the second half. You see the numbers as they played over the opening 20 minutes. And the Surge finding a way to get to the line. That's making a difference for them because they don't have the 3-point attempts that Saskatoon would have in terms of trying to generate offense.
And that's what you got to do when you can't necessarily shoot the ball from range. You're going to put the ball on the floor. You're going to get into the teeth of the defense and draw those fouls. Guys like Miller-Moore, of course, Evan Gilliard, Javonte Brown going to the line a couple times. That continued force, energy on the interior is what Calgary has to sustain here for the next 20 minutes of this game. That's how we're going to get out of here with a win tonight.
We're going to hear from Isaiah Fox in just a little bit, but what do you think he's talking about right now?
I tell you what, if I'm Isaiah Fox, if I see one more offensive rebound by this Calgary Surge, I'm going to blow my lid right now. We've got guys like Jaden Bediako, we've got Easton Tim, we've got the height advantage over this Calgary team. Let's start to use it inside, secure those defensive rebounds so we can get into our play and get the hands into the ball of our playmakers.
You know, we talked about the significance of this game. These teams are hungry for wins. A 1-point game at halftime, beautifully set up. for the second half. It should be a whole lot of fun. We're going to head to break. On the other side, we come back. We'll have Tammy check in with the head coach of the Saskatoon Mamba and much more. It's halftime in Calgary, and we've got a good one going. Stick with us. More to come. CEBL basketball coming your way on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
You don't just fuel your body, you fuel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime. Oh, and it goes Nick Hornsby. Here's Oakland for the win. You gotta love a Canadian boost. Two hands. Oh, what a block from behind.
Yo. Wait. Need a goalie? I'll hop in here. Let's have some fun.
Whether it's on the ice or on our app, always play for the fun of the game. Gamble responsibly with Play Alberta.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around with free rotations, price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
Welcome back to WinSport, where the Surge are nursing a 1-point lead. We're here with Saskatoon head coach Isaiah Fox. Really narrow margin in this one. What did you like about your team's game? What do you want to change?
Well, we got down a little bit early in the second, so I like the way we fought back and got some stops. But I think we got to defend without fouling. We're sending them to the free throw line too much. They're 9 for 13. And then on our end, we got to attack without asking for a call. We got to keep attacking. We're 1 for 3 at the free throw line. There's an area we can definitely improve.
Jalen Williams came through with some huge plays in the second quarter. What does he do for this team when he's firing on all cylinders?
Well, he's a hard guard. He's a tough matchup. Not only can he shoot, but he can attack the rim like you saw there. You know, we got to do a better job of finding ways to get him the ball, but he also needs to stay aggressive at the same time.
Calgary's winning the rebounding battle so far. How do you clean that up and lock it down in this second half?
Well, we say we got to gang rebound. Everyone's got to be committed to getting to that rebound. You know, and once we get the rebound, we can run. So it's a commitment by everyone on the team, our guards and our bigs.
Thanks for this, Coach.
Thank you.
Mitch, Jermaine, back to you.
Amy, thanks very much. Coach Fox, thank you as well. A well-spoken guy, a thoughtful guy. What a knowledge of the game he has. We had a chance to talk to him beforehand, and he is sharp as can be. And your thoughts on what he had to say there in terms of defending without fouling? That's something that really jumps out at you.
That is major, and he made sure to talk about the disparity when it came to free throws. Only 3 free throws here for Saskatoon as opposed to 13 for the Calgary Surge. But how about him taking accountability for his or doling out accountability for his guys, saying, look, just because we're not getting to the line doesn't mean we can start talking to the ref a little bit. Lock in a little bit. And, of course, he talked about the rebounding. Secure that basketball so we can get going the other way. Giving up way too many second-chance points here when it comes to Cal.
Control the controllables. That's what coaches always say. We control what comes up next on the show. So we're going to say, let's get to the players to watch and talk about Tavian Dunmartin and Olumide Adeladu. And we'll start with Dunmartin.
That we will. TDM doing his usual things, man. 15.6 assists, moving the basketball well, seeing the floor, as he does. Tavian Dunn-Martin making sure to get his teammates involved as well. And again, I talked about it off the top, those impressive rebounding numbers. Got 3 rebounds now, and I told you, the guy is 6 feet on a good day, counting his hair, standing on 3-inch platform shoes, okay?
He's 5'8" is what you're saying.
That's basically what I'm saying. So 3 rebounds in only 20 minutes of this game against a team that rebounds well, the Calgary Surge, shows you how much he's willing to get in there.
How about Olu Adela doing so far in the game? He's made his mark in different ways. There's another level there, too.
Yeah, Olu's got that. Times when he's not necessarily filling it up like he's used to doing, the guy's going to affect the game in a multitude of ways. 40% right now, also doing a good job getting to the line and doing those intangibles as well, doing a great job shading on screens and making sure to be that outlet pass for a guy like Evan Gilliard as well. Still plenty of time in this one for him to get it going, but despite only having 5 points, I like what I'm seeing here from Olu tonight.
And importantly, from a Surge standpoint, they like how they feel going into that break. Can they bring those good vibes into the second half? They wanted the 2-for-1 at the end of that opening half. They got it. They got that big buzz from the crowd at the end of the opening half on the finish from Swanton Roger. Everything going Surge way, and all they have is a 1-point lead as we get ready to go again. So we know we're in for a nail-biter. Can the Surge bring that energy forward in the second half? That's what we're going to be watching for.
That is indeed what we're going to be seeing. And you talked about only having that 1-point lead. Major opportunity right here for Saskatoon. Didn't necessarily play too well, but you're only down by 1. If you can continue to pack the paint, rebound the basketball well, and understand that you might not be on the beneficiary end of calls here tonight, don't talk to the officials. Continue to play your game and get that lead back.
Getting the second half started. Rugsy Millermore with the basketball in his hands. Gets it to Damian Baugh. A couple of early fouls, but now starts the second half on 2 fouls. He's in pretty good shape. Gilliard with the ball in his hands. Here's Adela Dune looking for the 3. That one just a little off the mark. And Saskatoon will take over. It's Gilliard, Baugh, Millermore, Adela Dune, and Brown for Calgary. Tavian Dunn-Martin along with Jalen Williams, Tevian Jones, Jaden Bediako, and rounding it out, Devontae Bandu. Tevian Jones for Williams. Williams gets his feet moving, gets to the inside. Gilliard with a nice step there to block the path, but a good finish from Bandu.
Yeah, great bring up right there. As you see, Gilliard was ready to take that charge from Jalen Williams, but Devontae Bandu, as we've seen so many times on this floor, such a great release pass after a drive and kick, knocking that shot down.
Bandu averaged over 17 points a game playing in Mexico before making his way to the CEBL once again, a veteran of the CEBL.
Oh.
Now a nice play to the inside, and Jones trying to come up with it. Didn't work out, but he does get that whistle. And then we get the call, and he's going to step to the line. 2 on Rugsy after the foul was called there. And stepping up is Jones to go to work. You feel like there's more to come from Tevian Jones in this game. He is a driver of play with his energy, an 83% foul shooter on the season, averaging 14.5 points a game. Started the year in Vancouver, made his way over to Saskatoon. Good G-League player with the South Bay Lakers. And will be an important part of things for the Mamba this year. Driving is Millermore, fading away Millermore. Picked up by, whoa, how about that for a finish? Javonte Brown found it and put it back with a little something extra.
Get busy, Javonte Brown, and do what you do best. Clean up that mess and give them 2 with a righty punch.
And the Surge get back to defend and get the basketball to get things started again. They wanted to get moving, but there's a little maintenance work on the floor. Gilliard backing them up, puts it up for Brown. Brown comes together with Bediako, and the whistle goes again. Bediako with a couple of fouls in that first half. Now in the middle of a traffic jam here.
And Brown, all season long, man, he'll just kind of flash that screen real quick. Little phantom screen towards the elbow, and it's a dive right away. And all game long, Gilliard has been looking for that loud pass, and he's got it. So keep going upstairs. Javonte Brown is either going to get that thing to go down or get himself to the free throw line.
Yeah, there's a feeling that they haven't made the most of what Javonte Brown brings to the team so far this season. I know that Perry Wong was talking during his time at the helm of the club that they want to try and get that pick and roll going, to try and get the lob going a little bit more, and they're finding ways to get Javonte Brown more involved in the attack.
Yeah, and he's got great hands. The guy is real soft touch around the rim, so get him that rock up there where no one else can get it and let him go to work.
Talked about the fouls and Bediako's situation. He now makes his way over to the bench, and Easton Tim will check in. An important assignment for Tim in support of Bediako, like we talked about Swan Roger in support of Javonte Brown here tonight. Tim gets up high to try and make some room for Dunmartin. He's on the move now, put it up. Brown looked like he got a touch. Tim tried to finish, and the Surge come away with it. Fine margins there.
Guess what?
Gilliard putting it up. There it is for Brown again. That's too easy.
It is too easy right there. Both Tim and Bandu got caught up in the top. Nowhere to go but upstairs for Javonte Brown. Keep eating in that restricted area if Saskatoon's not going to do anything about it.
As long as you're getting fed, keep on eating. Bandu working to his left. Jones rounds the corner, but he was fouled as he did that. And they'll put it in from the sideline through Devontae Bandu. Bandu, a CEBL veteran. He's played with Montreal, he's played with Edmonton. Of course, now it's Saskatchewan, 5th year in the league. TDM's going to take over, getting it back into play. Tim to Williams. Williams with a couple of impressive stretches in that opening half. Ready to try and make a difference again. He gets in there driving hard and good defending, putting off the shot. Baugh distributes a Desladune. Not this time. Brown couldn't get to the rebound. And Dunmartin drives the attack. One way, then the other. Stepping back, looking for three. And yes, sir.
Tell you what, had Baugh turned around on that one. You're going to give your back to Tavian Dunmartin. He's going to do some things. And that time, gave you 3 points.
1 point lead again. Changing that. Evan Gilliard with the triple.
One good three deserves another. And you already know Evan Gilliard is not shy of going shot for shot with the best of them.
Tevian Jones wanted to get out on the party. Didn't work for him. Gilliard pushing the pace from the slot. Takes the shot. He thought there was contact. There wasn't. In the eyes of the official, at least. And driving the Mamba, the left hand put away is smooth. And a one possession game once again. Fans on the edge of their seats here. Does not feel like a building that's home to a team that is winless on the year. They are engaged, and the Surge are too. Driving is a Desladune. Baugh directing traffic. They've got 5 to shoot. He knows it. To the inside, looking for Brown, and he draws the foul deep in the shot clock. That's good work to find a way to make something of it.
Most certainly. You said it there. Looking for Brown, who once again took a dive to the basket and tried to be the beneficiary of the pass, but was fouled before it could happen.
This Western Conference matchup brought to you by Cal Tire. Cal Tire, presenting sponsor of Western Conference action this season in the CEBL. Terrific to have them along and providing their support. Some support for the offense there as Baugh goes to the stripe, and it's the first one. Matty Patterson getting ready to come back in. Baugh strikes for 2 and want to make it 3 while you're there. Two out of 3 ain't bad for Baugh. The Surge with a 4-point advantage. Led it by 1 at the halftime break. Martin trying to work his way away from Brown. The shot's too hard off that back iron. Bandu gathers. Williams takes up and over Gilliard. The Surge are going to take over. Holding the Mamba off the board, getting the stop. Gilliard inside, there's Brown up, and he finds a way to get it in, and those guys on the same wavelength.
Tell you what, when that one drew the ire of Isaiah Fox, who already understands he's going to have to talk to his guys. It's way too easy right now for Javonte Brown to just slip and slide his way to the restricted area and continue to get uncontested looks.
Trying to find a way with Jaden Bediako on the bench of the Mamba. Driving, Tavian Dunmartin threw it up with the right hand, hoping for something, but he will have to settle for a trip to the free throw line. Your seats waiting for you to catch every single game live from here at WinSport Event Center. Get your tickets at calgarysurge.ca/tickets or by scanning the QR code. Surge about to get some action at home. This one tonight, Sunday afternoon against Winnipeg. Next week here against Brampton. Good time to jump in on this 2026 edition of the Calgary Surge as they look to get back on track. Dunn Martin gets that one to fall. 4 points separate the sides. Tim comes out, Bediako jumps right back in.
Yeah, you like to see it here for Jaden Bediako as he's getting into the game at the same time as Callum Swanton-Rogers. So let's see if the dives continue here to the interior as Fox was able to get in his big.
Miller Moore, the perimeter. Ball likes the look of this one, puts it up, didn't fall for him. Miller Moore's got the rebound, and with the left hand just couldn't get it to trickle. And the Mamba get away with one. To the corner, open look here. And that one's off the iron, taken by Gilliard, pushing the pace. Gilliard putting it up. Patterson finds a way to score. Tough catch and a good finish.
Keep flying to the basket, and this has always been a team that thrives off of high-energy plays, man. Get out on the floor and run, run, run. You're seeing what happens when they do here.
Showing a confidence they haven't always shown early in the season, the Surge. Looks good on them. Williams, that's a fine touch.
Tell you see when Dunn Martin comes off the screen, he draws 3 defenders right there. Someone's going to be wide open. It's a great job by Jaden Williams knocking down that release pass.
Well, you talked about it at halftime. You feel like the Mamba haven't hit their highest gear, and yet they're hanging around. That's into the hands of Chaplin. Gilliard staying close, picking him up early, not letting him have some breathing room. Chaplin does a nice job to get to his left, and then is fouled by Swanton-Roger, and they hit the deck.
Yeah, great job in the isolation there as Gilliard was able to stay with Chaplin, but Amir just kind of protects the ball, goes through some contact, goes chest to chest with Swanton-Roger, and gets himself a couple free throws for his trouble after the timeout.
Timeout on the floor. 3 points separate these two teams. And we have a good one that continues to be tooth and nail between these sides. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Jam, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Yo, need a goalie? Oh, hop in here. Let's have some fun.
Whether it's on the ice or on our app, always play for the fun of the game. Gamble responsibly with Play Alberta.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa. Thank you. That's my job. So you were saying.
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around with free rotations, price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
Back to WinSport Arena in Calgary. The Surge have a 3-point lead over the Saskatoon Mamba. Great to have you along. We want to remind you to come see the new chapter of professional basketball in Saskatoon. Tickets are available by scanning the QR code or by visiting saskatoonmamba.ca/tickets. And this is a team that is a fun team to watch. We're getting our first look at them in person, and they've got some good personnel on this Mamba team. They've got a terrific coach, and they look like the kind of team that is worth investing in if you're a fan, to come down and see how they play.
Yeah, new colors, new roster, new attitude. You're slowly starting to see it come together here for the Mamba. But if you're the Surge, you look to put a little damper on that great momentum they're building over there in Saskatchewan currently.
Chaplin to the line. He will strike on his first attempt. Isaiah Fox wanted his team to do more to get to the line in this second half. Chaplin there counting. His first free throws of the game. And trying to make it a perfect trip, he does. That's 2 for 2. A couple of players on 3 fouls, by the way, including Rugsy Miller-Moore and Jaden Bediako. So Miller-Moore takes a seat. Boss, Swanton-Roger, Patterson, Moontu, and Gilliard for the Surge. That one doesn't go, but Moontu's got a rebound. Patterson drives to the inside. He'll take it to the rack and is pushed to the side by Chaplin, who says that's not how we're playing tonight. We're going to fight for everything.
Not going down. Jameer Chaplin giving a little bit of rim protection, but Patterson, you saw him 2 times in a row. Chest first into the defense, trying to make something happen up close. If he continues with that same style of play, you know it'll open up for him.
Surge with a number of second unit players out here, and they've had the edge and bench points in the game. That's turned over. Back the other direction. TDM, that's short. He knew it as soon as he let go of it. Picked up by Bandu, and he tidies up.
Solid underneath one more time. Devontae Bandu showing you what happens when you don't find him on the second chance opportunity. Secure that rebound and secure 2 more points as well.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation in the ball game right now because Dave DeViro is getting that second unit out against a lot of the first choice players for the Mamba.
He is, that he is. See if he can buy a little time here to rest his top 5. As we know, this one's going right down to the wire like it has been all game long.
They get a stop, they get it back the other way. Patterson takes the pass, tries to get the shot up. He thought he was fouled, stayed with it, and does earn the whistle, and that's that extra effort paying off.
And again, it's Patterson. Surprise, surprise, going in transition to the basket one more time. Undeterred by contact, undeterred by getting a shot block. Does not matter for Patterson. Keep attacking, get yourself to that free throw line.
3rd foul on Saskatoon in the quarter. Surge have 4 fouls. 3 and change to go until our final quarter tonight. Lexi Miller-Moore checking back in. Evan Gilliard's going to catch his breath. Patterson's good on the first one. Surge 0-2 at home, 0-5 on the road. 0-2 against the West. Matty Patterson making the most of his visit to that foul line. Dunn Martin patiently observing the situation, gets it to Bediako, takes the handoff. Bediako rolls, gets the return, and just can't finish it. Isaiah Fox wanted the foul call. He'll get it, but not on the play he saw coming. He'll take it either way.
Yeah, a little high-low game. Trying to give the Surge a taste of their own medicine right there was Dunn Martin and Bediako, but fortunately for Jaden, couldn't finish up front, and also fouled Callan Swanton Roger coming down with it as well.
So it is an offensive foul, and Surge basketball. That's a tough one from the Mamba vantage point. Thought they had the easy bucket, then they thought they had earned a foul, and instead it's back the other way, and here comes Baugh. Moore, Muntu, nice fake drives, had it snatched away, and there goes TDM. Williams, that's great ball movement, and Patterson's not going to let them have an easy one.
Yeah, well, as it stands right now, 0 points for either team when it comes to fast breaks from turnovers. We almost saw our first 2 right there, but still, not the case. Great job getting back transition defense-wise for Calgary. It was a foul, and that's going to send a guy like Jameer Chaplin to the line for a couple.
Both of these teams have been talking about being better defensively. And you can talk about it all you want. You got to get out there and put the work in, and we're seeing that from both sides tonight. The Surge giving up 98.4 points a game, second most in the league, and Saskatoon 103.3 points a game, the most in the CEBL. And they've just had enough of giving up points in those numbers. They're digging in tonight. That one doesn't fall for Chaplin. Swanton Roger. Hands to Baugh. Baugh draws 2, maybe 3, goes far side for Miller-Moore, looking for 3. And Bediako gets it in the hands of number 7, who has it in his hands an awful lot anytime he's on the floor. Dunn Martin distributing to the corner, a look there. Patterson making it tough. Williams puts his shoulder down, gets it to the inside. They'll draw the foul. That's Williams' determination out of the corner, and then finding a teammate in the paint.
Yeah, good driving kick right there, but better job by Swanton Roger right there. You're going to be a tough body inside. Nothing easy on the interiors. Challenges a guy like Jaden Bediako above the rim, and now you force Jaden to go to the line and knock down a couple free throws.
That's 2 on Swanton Roger. He's played just shy of 8 minutes in the game so far. They've been helpful minutes to the cause. As he learns on the job, Bediako can't get that to fall.
Yeah, and as a secondary front court player here for Calgary, you know it's going to be a tough night. Jaden Bediako is here. Devian Jones is here. Jalen Williams is here. These are guys that are so good up and around the rim. So Swanton Rogers showing how he's ready to not only contribute, but thrive in this opportunity as well. Great job by him.
Bediako gets over, makes it tough on Miller Moore after missing on the 2 foul attempts, or foul throw attempts down at the other end. And his good defense helps to smooth over some of the soreness, the sting from not finishing from the stripe. One possession game, as it has so often been. Here's Jones. Williams bobbled in the corner, decides to try to get to the inside. Long 2 doesn't fall. And Muntu distributes. Here's Ball, looked one way, passed it the other. And the deception was effective because it fooled everybody.
And it did.
Saskatoon is going to take over.
Got to keep that head on a swivel right now. You're running with guys like D-Ball and Evan Gilliard. These guys are looking to facilitate if you run with them. So if you're keeping up pace, make sure you're ready to catch that.
Muntu comes out, Gilliard jumping back into the mix. Gilliard working from the perimeter, got to the foul line, and was turned back. Plenty of time, 12 seconds on the shot clock. Drives, moves it back from deep. Ball wants the 3, off the target. And Ba told me the other day at practice, he feels like he's working back to his prime game. It's a tough thing to come off of a layoff and jump right into a competitive league like the CEBL. So he's just maintaining his confidence and trusting that the work he puts in practice is going to show in the games. This is a guy with a good pedigree.
Yeah, and you never want a situation where you're trying to play yourself in the game shape, but coming off of long layovers, that tends to be the case.
Not even a shape thing, but a sharpness thing, right? Like he feels like there's just that fine balance that you have when you're on your game of reading plays and making timely passes and, you know, knowing when to shoot and having the finishing touch. He says it's just a matter of putting the work in. He trusts it. This is a guy who has played in the NBA, who in the G League past season was very productive, averaging over 20 points a game with the Valley Suns.
That mental acuity is part of being in game shape as well. You know, it's a physical game, it's a mental game. You got to bring it all together, all at once, and you're slowly starting to see it here happen for Damian Ball, one game at a time.
Got a violation. They're going to reset here, and Ball will reset. Teams meet up again on July the 3rd. That's going to be a special one. We'll have a little bit more on that a little bit later on. Ba sets himself, rights himself, and scores. The lead is 5. It was 1 at halftime. Calgary's biggest lead in the game, 9. We're in the last minute of the 3rd quarter. Mahadi guarded there by Gilliard, who stays right with him. Gilliard gets in the way and draws the foul. Gilliard paying the price, but making a difference.
Double tough is Evan Gilliard. You saw him go body to body right there with Mahadani, excuse me. And that big chicken wing swing to the back of the head of Evan Gilliard saw by the ref and drawing a foul right there.
So the Surge, who executed the 2-for-1 to perfection to close out the 2nd quarter, might be thinking that way here. We'll see. Gilliard the second directs, takes the screen from Brown, who rolls. Gilliard at the elbow, looking to the perimeter. Patterson back to Gilliard. Lots of time, 9 to shoot. Gilliard in the paint, floats it, no good. And Bediako makes sure the Mamba get possession. Shot clock, game clock, almost identical. Mahadi dealing with Gilliard, who's in his grill, and cross the line, says the official.
Smart move right there from Mahadi. He saw that Evan Gilliard's arm come across. What did he do? Just a little hook. Just a little hook right there, and that 9 times out of 10 is going to be called on the defender when you get your arms crossed like that. So high IQ play right there from Mohamed Mahadi.
Surge in the penalty. Mahadi goes to the line. First one does not go his way.
Take your time, Hardy! Take your time!
Isaiah Fox shouting from the sideline, telling his youngster to relax and see if he could get it to go. Did not fall. The Surge now with a chance to add the advantage on a final possession. Miller Moore rounds the corner. Miller Moore up and over, and yes, sir. Good finish to the second quarter, good finish to the third quarter.
Love to see it right there. You want to start quarters strong and end them even stronger. And a play like that from Sean Miller Moore puts the Surge in a great spot here with the fourth quarter just around the corner.
Calgary with a 7-point advantage, 30 minutes into this one. Stick around, a big fourth quarter coming up from Calgary. It's CEBL Basketball live on CBC Jam, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
You don't just feel your body, you feel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
Did you know that every CEBL game ends on a game-winning bucket? Yep, every single one. That's because we use something called target score ending, a thrilling twist that keeps fans locked in till the final shot. So what is the target score ending? Here's how it works. The first time the clock stops with 4 minutes or less left in the fourth quarter, the game clock is turned off. We enter target score time. We take the leading team's score, add 9 points, and that becomes the target score. Let's say it's 91-80. That means the first team to hit 100 wins. No ticking clock, no intentional fouls, just pure clutch basketball. It's fast, it's electric, and it guarantees that every game ends with a bang. Experience the target score ending this CEBL season.
Welcome back to WinSport. The Surge up 69-62 on Saskatoon. Well, the Calgary Marathon just took place, and Surge Senior Manager of Operations Ryan Mohawk decided to make his run a little more challenging. Ryan completed the half marathon while dribbling a basketball and wearing his Surge jersey in just under 2 hours and 20 minutes. He says it symbolizes the distance running from the downtown to WinSport, and if he could do that on foot without losing a basketball, he wants to see more fans make the little drive out here to support CEBL ball. And they sure showed up for him tonight. Mitch, Jermaine?
I can't believe he did that. I mean, honestly, to run that distance and dribble a basketball, come on, that's showing off.
Yeah, that's next level resolve from our guy, Ryan Mohawk. But if you know him like we know him, that's absolutely nothing for him to do. I'm sure he could have went for kilometers more.
Speaking of show-offs, how about Tavian Dunn-Martin popping for 3 and tightening the game up to a 4-point affair?
Love to see it. Right now, it's about that time. It's fourth quarter, and Dunn-Martin knows what to do. When the game's up, he jumps them down.
Up top, Javonte Brown hands to Evan Gilliard, and then follows Brown towards that basket and just can't score it. Dunn-Martin relentless with his pace. Backing up the defense. Muntu getting some minutes tonight and showing he's earned them. Pass to the corner. Bandu for 3. That's how you do it. And the timeout is called as a nice sequence of play for the Saskatoon Mamba forces Dave DeViro into action.
All it takes right there is a guy, a facilitator like Tavian Dunn-Martin to find his guys in the corner, and Devontae Bandu stepping up, knocking it down, creating a timeout right away. That's something you love to see if you're a Mamba fan.
Interesting to watch these two teams try to play to their strengths. The Saskatoon Mamba, a good three-point shooting team. They've got a big edge on the Surge in this game on made threes. The Surge trying to find a way to get to the paint, to try and get to the glass and draw free throws. And look at those free throw numbers.
Got to tell you something, Mitch. Going into the third quarter, you heard it at halftime from Isaiah Fox. Only 3 free throws for the Mamba. In that third quarter, they got to the line 12 times. They made sure to continue to attack the basket. The problem becomes finishing. They went 4 for 12 from the free throw line in that third quarter. Got to bump up that percentage here in the fourth if the aggression continues.
Interesting chess match between these two coaches. Dave DeViro, vastly experienced. Isaiah Fox, also vastly experienced, but getting a turn now as a head coach and relishing in the opportunity. He told us before the game it's everything that he had hoped for in terms of getting a chance to put his imprint on this team and be a part of this successful relaunch in Saskatoon. I want to remind you that Cal Tire is proud partner and tire expert of the CEBL. Shop top tire brands and have peace of mind with Cal Tire's price match guaranteed. Shop and book now at caltire.com. And we're back underway at WinSport. Surge in possession. Swanton Roger having a look around. Couldn't get it to Miller Moore. Hands off to Gilliard. Gilliard up top. Muntu thought about it. Now we'll let it fly. That one looked good. Just didn't fall. And Townsend to Dunn Martin to Jones. Into the front court they go.
Okay, play ball. We're good. Keep going.
Muntu guarding there against Bandu. Big screen from Bediako. They fight through it. Try to make a stand, but too tough to stop this time around. The Mamba cash in and take the lead.
You see it every time Devontae Bandu comes to town. Fourth quarters come around and the guy locks in. A major three to go in the timeout. And how about the patience to wait for Bediako to dive, hit him in stride, and get that two up front.
Spent some time with Raptors 905 this past season. Jaden Bediako also impressed in a stint in Mexico, and he's impressing in this one. Bediako guarded there by Swanton Roger. Bediako drops the shoulder, turns, tries to get it up over top. Good defending without fouling there. Gilliard on the move, gets a little space, goes to the corner. Patterson wants to get inside, tucks it, and scores.
That's exactly what you want to do when the defense is going to overplay. Protect that basketball. You saw Patterson put that thing in the crevice of his arm and finish with the easy left on the move.
Back and forth they go. Surge by one. Jones with a good finish. Thought he'd earned a foul there. Trying to get back to work as the Surge looked to strike at the other end. Patterson left alone. Makes it count.
How about it? Calm, cool, collected. Little back step into the corner and Patterson gives you three more.
Had a little look around and went, really? Okay.
Don't mind if I do.
TDM analyzing, preparing to dissect, weaving his way in. What a pass to the corner. Open look, and they can't finish. That's what they wanted. They wanted a clean look, couldn't score. Gilliard rounds the corner, puts it up, and puts it down.
It's all about making decisions on the run right there. You saw Jaden Bediako drop to cover Swanton Roger. So, easy lane right there for Evan Gilliard, who gives you a lefty push shot from the restricted area.
Take what the game gives you. Trying to do that, Bandu. Good pass, Bediako up and over. Contested, but he finishes. 76-74, a couple of minutes away from target score time. Patterson, crossover, couple of them, into the block for Miller Moore. Ruggsy trying to find a little separation from Bandu, 5 to shoot. Found some space and just couldn't get it to tumble. And the Mamba organize. Back screen from Bediako, pull up from Bandu. Taken and played ahead. Muntu is going to finish it here.
Yes, he is. And great minutes from a guy like Muntu, rewarded by running the floor and finishing with the lefty leg. You love what you're getting here from a guy like Brandon Muntu all game long to this point.
Do the work in practice. Be ready when your number's called. That number called and finished in style there from Jones, who put it down with a little anger.
Can't take any defensive possessions off right there. All it takes is one to turn the momentum back onto the side of the Mamba. So if you're Calgary, time to lock it in.
Miller Moore locked in there, and down it goes.
Confidence and the ability to do it is everything for Sean Miller Moore. Step into a three and knock that thing down.
5-point advantage for Calgary, 5:09 to go in the fourth. And we want to remind you, CEBL basketball aplenty on the way. Coming up on the 15th of June, it is Ottawa at Saskatchewan. 7:30 Mountain start, 9:30 Eastern. First game from Merlis Belcher Place in Saskatoon. It's game 2 of a 3-game trip for the Ottawa squad. It should be a good matchup coming up on Monday. Coming up on Friday night, Calgary Surge in Winnipeg take on the Sea Bears in that beautiful home in downtown Winnipeg, and it's at 8 p.m. Central tip, 7 Mountain. first game of a home-and-home series between these two teams. The Surge will have the Sea Bears in here for the first time come Sunday afternoon. And that promises to be very interesting. But one thing at a time, my friend. We got a really interesting one playing out here.
That's right. Target score time is just around the corner. And like you said, Mitch, these two teams are going shot for shot the entire way through. You go up into the points from turnovers, 9 for Calgary, 10 for Saskatchewan, 10 for Saskatoon, excuse me. Points in the paint, 42-38 in favor of Calgary. Second chance points, 10-6. Basically what I'm trying to say here, Mitch, is these two teams are so evenly matched up, and it's playing out in front of us here. The only difference between these two squads is who's going to be able to execute in target score time here tonight.
Saskatoon Mamba with a record of 2-5 on the season. They're in 4th in the Western Conference. That's the final playoff position. The Surge at 0-7, looking for that first win in their first game under interim head coach Dave DeViro. Calgary by 5 as it stands now. Teams will meet again on July the 3rd in Whitehorse. Here's Williams from long range. That is good.
I'm going to tell you, Easton Tim should get credit on that one. He made sure to take 2 defenders with him right there, sending that off-ball screen, and then it left Jalen Williams wide open to knock it down out of the timeout from range.
Williams coming off a 25-point outing. And impactful there. He had some foul trouble early on. Got himself 13 points in this one to this point. There's Gilliard from long distance, and that's how you do it.
Sure is. Great contest from Townsend. No matter. Slight step back from EG30, and he gives you a 3 right back the other way.
84-75. Dunn Martin taking matters into his own hands. Good rebound there from Swanton Roger. Got back to protect the house, was ready when it came his way. Evan Gilliard at the controls. Waves off ball. Uses Swanton Roger. Keeps it into the traffic. He goes. He thought he had it. Didn't go for him. Tough pass for Williams. Patterson back to slow them up. Open look from the corner. And that is good. Trey Townsend, my goodness.
Major stroke right there. Great job running the floor. Loose ball into the hands of Dunn Martin as usual. Fires it in to the pocket right there for Townsend, who knocks down that transition 3.
Trey Townsend out of Arizona with a quick strike 3. We're inside the final 4 minutes now. Patterson looking to a Deladoon in the corner, knocked out by the Mamba. That will stop the play. And we're headed for that beloved feature of CEBL basketball, target score time. A 2-point affair in Calgary. A massive game for these two teams. Don't go anywhere. The target is set, and it will be chased on the other side. This is CEBL basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Next bucket wins. Target score time is the best time of a game. The energy, the drama,
that anything can happen.
Big players step up in big time. He is cooking.
Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime.
Welcome inside WinSport Arena in Calgary. Mitch Peacock, Jermaine Cummings, Cammy Kepke with you. The Surge and the Mamba. First meeting of 4 in their season series. And what a meeting it has been. The Surge by 1 at halftime. The Surge by 2. As we start target score time, the target set at 93, Jermaine.
Gotta tell you, 19 lead changes between these two teams. The definition of shot for shot all game long, and this is why our league is the greatest on the planet. Target score time is upon us with only a 2-point gap between two teams jockeying for position. Sit back, relax, and enjoy some unbelievable CEBL action.
Javonte Brown back into the game, has played about 17.5 minutes in this one. He has been capably spelled off by Callum Swanton-Roger. With Brown in, Miller-Moore in, Gilliard in, Ball in, and Patterson up from Miller-Moore. Deep in the clock, back the other way for the Mamba. Tavian Dunn-Martin to the corner, taken by Williams, who sets and can't strike. The fans taking it up a notch here in Calgary. Ball one way, then the other. Ends up with Gilliard. Gilliard with a look around. Ball receives. Ball against Townsend. Backs him up, puts the shot up. Bediako starting it back to the attack. Williams from the wing. Townsend, who struck from there just a moment ago, inside for Williams. Williams trying to find some space against Patterson. He's not going to give it to him.
Great defense. So the first 2 times down the floor here, we saw 2 isolation plays for the Surge. You want to see some ball movement here in target score time. You what got you here in the first place.
That's what you're talking about.
Most certainly. Dive if you're Javonte Brown. If you're EG, put that thing way up. Javonte is going to do right by you. How about that finish? Share the ball in target score time.
Evan Gilliard, such an accomplished scorer that when he makes plays, he really puts teams off balance and he can make plays. Coming into this one, leading the team with almost 6.5 assists a game. There's Bandu, and he is sent back by Brown, who says, not tonight. 4-point advantage. The Surge 7 from the finish line. Miller-Moore just about trimmed it. Now he's got to get back. Williams sneaks in behind and gets an easy one.
Jalen Williams on the run. Again, though, if you're the Surge, get to moving that basketball. No time for iso ball now. You've stayed in this game by leading the assist game. Don't fall off that track right now. It's got you to this point, and they'll get you over the hill.
Surge 5 of their first 7 on the road, trying to capitalize being back home. It's a mishandle, and the Mamba will pick it up. Dunn-Martin brings it to the midcourt line, guarded by Bob. Bediako with the screen, overcomes Brown, trying to catch up, stepping in is Patterson. Which way is it going to go? And it's going to go the way of Calgary.
There he is once again, Addison Patterson, doing things that show up on the defensive score sheet. Pop that ball loose off the knee of TDM, and we're going the other way. Dig in right now if you're the Surge.
Calgary take a timeout, leading it by 2. And 7 points from picking up their first win of the season. We know it gets a little helter-skelter in target score time, so we're not surprised completely, at least, with what we're seeing. But what hasn't changed one bit is the competitiveness these two teams are really going for.
Yeah, both desperate for a win, and you're seeing it here in target score time. As it goes shot for shot, one piece of advice I got for the Surge is continue to play the way you have this entire game. I know it's target score time, and you want to slow things down, and you want to call a couple isolation plays because you feel like you got a mismatch. But all game long, you've had easy baskets after the slip, phantom screen up top, keep diving to the basket, share the basketball, get you some easy twos, and get out of here with a W.
Yeah, we saw it happen there with Gilliard and Javonte Brown coming together. So much easier than trying to force something on your own. And if you get that higher efficiency shot too, the opportunities just seem to be so much easier when the guys are moving well and moving the ball well at the same time.
Yeah, and you talk about it. If you give guys touches on the offensive side, they're more inclined to be a little more stout on the defensive side as well. So share the love on both ends, and everyone will reap the benefits.
Evan Gilliard now, we talked about the setup for Brown a moment ago. 10 assists in the ball game, 17 points on the night. He's finding ways to make an impact in this one, and what an impact he is making. Javonte Brown, by the way, with 15 points in the contest as he continues to make things happen at the offensive, and he's also got 8 boards. He's that close to his 3rd triple-double of the season.
Yeah, 15 and 8 from Javonte Brown, but the most important and the most impressive thing to me when it comes to the double-double from Evan Gilliard, only 1 free throw here tonight. A guy that lives at the free throw line is finding ways to affect offensively without shooting free throws.
Ball was driving. He thought he had an open man in the corner, but he was a little off at the pass. The Mamba will take charge. And you're right, Evan Gilliard not picking up any easy points in this one. doing his thing. He's now in a mix-up there with Bandu. He thought he had drawn a foul. Instead, play carries on. That's picked up by Williams. Williams going down along the baseline, and he looks a little shaken up. Williams grabbing at that right ankle.
There it is. You wonder if it rolled over on him, because the way that Jalen Williams has really shown out here in the fourth quarter, he walks with that slight limp. You wonder if it rolled over, but it's going to take a whole lot more to get him out of this one. But the effort here from Williams, specifically in target score time, fourth quarter, shooting threes, being that relief valve, as you see, getting to the line as well when he's able to get some shooting fouls. Great effort all around here from Jalen Williams.
Very impressive. And 2 fouls on Patterson, by the way, as he was whistled for that last one on Williams. Bugsy Miller-Moore giving no room whatsoever to Dunn-Martin, but somehow he picks up the pace, gets to the glass. Bediako was trying to put it back, didn't work. So Miller-Moore tries to make it happen, and he does.
There it is, on the run, downhill, under control. Sean Miller-Moore is going to give you 2 on the move now.
5 points to victory for Calgary. Hot on their heels, the Mamba. Great dribbling there by Dunn-Martin to keep it alive. It's worked to Williams. Reaching in there is Gilliard, and he says, come on, I had my hand on that Spaulding. I didn't touch the man.
I tell you, it was a foul, but you love the intensity right now defensively from the Calgary Surge. It's all about staying calm, but maintaining that same edge that you've had in this target score time to get the job done.
Third foul on Gilliard. Back into play from the sidelines. Bandu works around thanks to the screen, gets it to Dunn-Martin, who's got all day and can't make them pay. Gonna get a second crack at it, and that's trouble.
Sure is. You give him a wide open look, and you're lucky enough to make him miss, but you give up an offensive rebound and a second chance at it. Not gonna miss twice in a row.
Tavian Dunn-Martin with yet another 3-ball in the game. You can make it 6. 88-87. What a contest. Patterson. Inside, Patterson, tough shot. Hits the back iron. Miller-Moore had it and slipped through his fingertips.
That's tough. Great position right there from Miller-Moore. Exactly you want to be, but unable to squeeze it. But nonetheless, got to shake it off. Get back on D right now. I'm only down 1, and TDM walking it up.
These teams vowed to be tougher defensively. They have dug in at the defensive end. Now, who's going to find a way to finish this? Javonte Brown got back there and just couldn't impact the shot from TDN.
Hot butter through knife. Stop, go, and finish with the right. Dunn-Martin. Woo.
Like a slalom skier through the poles.
Look at this D here.
Gilliard, the second, tries that 3, doesn't work. Thought he might have had contact for a foul, didn't come. Second chance here. Patterson. 4 from the finish line for the Mamba. The Surge trying to turn things. Good defensive effort there from Bediako. Bediako catches up. Fox wants the timeout. He's not getting it. Townsend wants the 3. He does get it. And how about that from the Saskatoon Mamba?
That is going to do it. What a shot on the move from Townsend. Wow.
Townsend's been pretty quiet tonight. Lost his starting spot for this game. But we've seen him hit a hot one from that slot a little bit ago. And another one here in target score time. And now the Mamba 1 point from coming away with the win and breaking Surge hearts.
Gotta tell you, Mitch, a couple good looks here for the Surge. They're getting the shots they want, but not executing. The thing is, when you miss, you've got to get back on the defensive end. You can't let it affect you getting back, especially when the score is tight as it is here in target time. You're 1 point away, like you just said, from Saskatoon getting out of here with a dub. So you've got to lock in defensively here and make sure that's not the case.
So what's on Dave DeVero's mind right here?
Got to tell you, if it comes to defense, we need to get a little bit tougher. You can't have guys like Dunn-Martin continue to walk. Jalen Williams is working with the rock, and Townsend, time and time again, is getting to that 45-degree mark and is getting no resistance from the defense. He's able to walk into 3 after 3 after 3. There is no time here to lax off defensively. You've got to engage and make sure you're going the other way.
Not much margin of error for Calgary now, with Saskatoon a point away. Saskatoon looking for its first road victory of the season. They won 2 of 3 since an 0-4 start. their last road win some time ago. It was August the 3rd of last season against the Stingers in Edmonton. Trying to get one under their belts here in 2026.
Over the last few times in target score time, we've seen from Calgary them play like they're down. They can't play like that here. You can't play like that here. You've got to play with that same energy that you had going on.
Gilliard the second sizing things up at Deladoon for three. Off the back iron. Patterson reached for it. Did he touch it? Last he did. And the Mamba now with a chance. Timeout is called. Isaiah Fox wants to bring his players in. The Surge can't be thinking about anything else but finding a way to get the basketball back.
Yeah, it's going to take a stop right here, and you already know what's coming. You already know it's going to be in the hands of John Martin, who's going to look to facilitate, potentially score. You guys have got to be on a string defensively here. You've got to have great communication as well. You know what's coming. John Martin more than likely is going to try to drive, looking for outlets to pass as well. Cut off those passing lanes and make sure, like your life depended on it, to grab a rebound if the opportunity presents itself.
Such a strength of the Surge in the opening half of this game. Can they dig back into that theme and those qualities here with the game on the line? Earlier tonight, Scarborough over Niagara 104-93, and Montreal wins Brampton 105-92. Brampton will be here next Wednesday night. Surge with a home game coming up on Sunday against Winnipeg, then Brampton, and then that big game that they'll play in Lethbridge against Montreal. That's down the road. This is all that matters now for a team that's off to an 0-7 start. Done so many good things in this ball game. Can they find a way to get a result? Baugh, Patterson, Gilliard, Miller-Moore, and a Deladoon for Calgary trying to make a stand. TDM, of course, with the ball in his hands. Baugh picks him up. Baugh tries to stay with him, spinning. Dunmartin to the basket, can't score it. The rebound picked up by Bediako, and the Mamba come into Calgary and pick up a road victory for the first time in 2026. And the Surge, despite an improved performance, find themselves at 0-8.
And it came down to an all-offensive board that was able to be secured by Jaden Bediako. And we talked about it off top, what Bediako brings to a team. It's rim protection, it's good hands at the basket, and of course, it is rebounding. Get you an old board and put them out of work. What a great job here by the Mamba to gut this one out here tonight.
Surge led at 84-82 at the start of target score time. That target set at 93. And Saskatoon finds a way to get there. The Surge held to just 4 points once we hit that exciting phase of things. And Saskatoon comes up with a big road win. They improved their record now to 3-5 on the year. They find themselves headed home for a game against Ottawa coming up on Monday. And then they're on the road for Niagara and Ottawa, but they're feeling much better about things now, having picked up a win here in the battle of teams under the same ownership. And the Mamba do what it takes to win on their travels. The Surge go back to the drawing board. There's no time to feel sorry for themselves. They got a big home and home coming up with the Winnipeg Sea Bears. Cammy is now standing by with the outstanding Tegan Dunmartin.
Well, Tavian, it's a comeback in Calgary tonight. You outscored the Surge all through the fourth quarter. What does this win say about the resilience of this group?
We just stick together. We just fight to the end. You know, we started off 0-4, collected some wins, lost one, and then it was just important for us to bounce back. You know, bounce back in the game, get us a dub, and get back on that side.
I want to get your thought on Bediako tonight. He's got the double-double, a massive block late, and then the target time winner. What did he bring to the court today? Amazing.
We've won all of our games with him. He's an X factor. He's somebody that we need all the time. You know, he's a big part of this team, and we need him to keep doing what he's doing.
Wins in 3 of your last 4, your first road victory of the season. Is the tide turning for the Mamba?
Yeah, the tide's turning for the Mamba. You know, keep your eyes on us. We're coming for the top. We're coming for everything. So just keep rooting for us, and we'll be there.
Thanks for this, Tavian.
All right, thank you.
You said it all there. That's TDM. Back to you, Mitch Germain.
Thank you very much, Cammy. What an outstanding performance from Tavion Dunmartin. 28 points in the ball game. He had 10 assists. He was 6 of 12 from beyond the arc. I mean, when they needed something, he had it.
Yeah, that's right. And the resolve in target score time. Everyone in the building knew TDM was going to have the ball in his hands. And still, he got to his spot. Granted, he missed that shot, but to have the faith in a guy like Jaden Bediako, who, like he just said, was the reason for this win here tonight, and frankly has been the reason for their 4 wins here this season, you love to see him sharing the love. TDM giving you on-the-court leadership and off the court as well.
Bediako finishes with 14 points. He finishes with 12 boards. They finish with the win. It was what they were looking for. When you're taking steps as a team, you have to build the confidence that you can take your game anywhere, and you get the feeling they're starting to work towards that now in Saskatoon with a win like this.
Yeah, nothing will shoot up that confidence like a come-from-behind target score time win. That's major for a young squad here in the Mamba, who, like Tavion Dunmartin said, kind of struggled with 0-4 at the beginning, but a come-from-behind target score win, you can look back at this later in the season and know you have it in you.
Ends up as a 6-point victory for the Saskatoon Mamba. We'll be back to wrap it up from Calgary in just a moment. Stay with us. You're watching the CEBL, and you're watching it on CEBL Plus, CBC Gem, and YouTube.
You need a goalie? I'll hop in here. Let's have some fun.
Whether it's on the ice or on our app, always play for the fun of the game. Gamble responsibly with Play Alberta.
redtag.ca.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around. With free rotations, price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
Back in Calgary, where the Calgary Surge fall tonight to the Saskatoon Mamba. 94-88 is your final score. We want to let you know about upcoming CEBL action. On Friday night, the Calgary Surge are at Winnipeg to take on the Sea Bears. It's 8 Central, 7 Mountain when they tip it off. First game of a home-and-home series between the teams. Calgary will have the Sea Bears in here on Sunday afternoon. My good friend Joey Slattery is joined by Dave Cook and Emily Potter on the call. We'll catch all the action on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus. The Surge will go to the Manitoba capital looking for their first win of the season. They did everything they could to get in this one tonight against the Saskatoon Mamba, but the Mamba weren't interested in helping them out.
That they weren't. Despite a great game here from the Calgary Surge tonight, again, target time seems to be the Achilles heel for this team. You can play a great first 3 quarters, 3.5 quarters in this sense, but when target time comes around and your attack completely changes, like we've seen in every game, the ball starts to stick, you see what happens then. You got to play with that same freeness, that same flow, but like you just said, no time to lick your wounds here. You're getting right back to it in a couple days, and it's getting to that part of the season where it's game after game after game. So you got to shake this one off and get to it, and quick.
Surge knew they needed to be better. I think they were better tonight. They've got some things they can build on for Friday night in Winnipeg. One final thought from you as you look ahead to this home and home with the Seabanks.
Well, you made a great point right there. They did a bunch of things right here today, and it didn't work out for you. But again, if you can circle one part of the game, whether it's that last rebound you gave up to a guy like Jaden Bediako, or the fact that a guy like Jalen Williams was able to get to a corner for an uncontested three, or you let Townsend go to work, if you can circle in on one thing and just kind of correct that going forward, you'll be in a great spot. I know you don't want to hear it if you're a Surge fan or player, but you will. You're right there. You just got to lock things up a little bit later in the game and make sure to close out the dub.
Another shot at win number 1 comes on Friday night in the Manitoba capital, and you can find it on CEBL Plus, on CBC Gem, and you can also find it on YouTube. So this one is done tonight in Calgary. The Surge led it into target score time, but fall 94-88 against the visiting Saskatoon Mamba. For Jermaine Cummings, for Cami Kepke, and for our entire crew, I'm Mitch Peacock saying thanks for joining us, and so long till next time.